this computer. Hello, it is episode 7 of Shadow of a Ghost, the playtest campaign of Planet Raygun. What is Planet Raygun without a special guest star? We have a new special guest star, Devin, playing Trip, a new royal in the mix. So let's start out there. Devin, why don't you introduce Trip for us?
Trip's full name is His Most August Excellency Lord Wootton Grandino Silver III.
Hmm. Fairly short for a royal.
Yeah, I
Acceptable
mean,
though.
we keep it a little informal.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, he is the heir apparent to his throne. I have not
Hmm.
come up with the name of the planet yet, but if you give me a few minutes, I
Fair
will.
enough. Yeah.
Um, he is uh, pale, pale gray skin, glittering amethyst colored eyes,
Ooh.
generally wears bespoke neutral gray and black toned high collared suits, generally with a little chain that goes around the arm. It has the crest on his left breast of a bejeweled crown, which is the sigil of his royal family. And yeah, I don't know what else you need from me right now.
That is perfect for now. We left off our last episode with Leland Zero and Velvet Ashes in handcuffs, being escorted to the center of a parade route, where they have encountered Stugg Kibeo, the leader of the Kibeo Syndicate, who has, I guess, threatened Leland, and essentially given him one sentence to speak before he dies. Um, Trip, I think that you are in the crowd here. Um, you were sent along to kind of like scope things out. The crew um, probably knows that there is another contact from the association, the sort of like confederated organization of different rebel groups and resistance members and such. And so they know that there's another contact here. They don't necessarily know that it's you, but I think that's up to all the characters to decide is what you know of Trip, and if you've met before, if so on and so forth. But that is where we open our scene. Leland, Stugg Cabeo, is staring at you, waiting for your answer. What do you do?
Am I in cuffs?
You are in cuffs.
Ooh. Um, are they tight?
Um, Moderately tight. These folks recognize Leland Zero and certainly recognize Velvet Ashes, and they do not want either of you to escape and would suspect that you have the ability to do such.
All right. I'll give you my sentence.
I know this is quite a lot of pressure.
It is. Could you perhaps loosen the cuffs for me? This is not my sentence. I've just it's more informal request. A sidebar off. Semi off the record. Just a tiny bit. It's hard to think on the spot. I'm not. I didn't go to class for improv. It's
I would like you to roll with presence with disadvantage.
um no. Um, Okay.
And you may
So
use a piece of your kit
yeah, yeah.
in order
Well,
to,
so
yeah.
um, before I roll this, I did actually have an idea for a sentence that I wanted to say.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then if you don't mind, I can roll with disadvantage, but I have a way to
Okay.
negate the disadvantage with something. It'll tie it together.
Ooh, okay, okay, okay. So if you want to roll the dice, give the result, and then we can kind of like play it out based on that, if that makes sense. And you
Oh, I was
can
hoping I could say my sentence and then roll the dice.
you can say your sentence and roll the dice.
Cool.
That is fine as well.
Uh, all right. So this is my official sentence.
This has
Um,
been quite a lot of sentences so far, but I'll let it slide since you
it,
are in moderately tight handcuffs.
it's extremely tight, actually. If you had them on your wrists, you would feel the same way, but it's neither here nor there.
Good job, fellows.
Hello, Mr. Kibeo. I know how bad this looks, but I offer my most sincerest apologies for arriving unannounced, comma. However, I am here because your palace is under a grave, grave threat, semicolon. There are currently hosts of parasites within your walls from Theranor. I don't know if you heard. This is all. There was a M dash that I missed, but there was a destruction of their planet, and well, the parasites have come to your palace world, and they have invaded. And I have the proof on me. If you'll allow me to show you, of course, I would need the cuffs to be loosened. Period.
Lovely. Yeah, I like this a lot. Um, throw those dice
All
then.
right, and I'm going to use my personal cargo, my syringe of Theranor vampire parasites as proof.
Ooh, showing the proof. What are you afraid might happen here?
Um, that he's gonna still because I'm sure they're gonna touch my body and search me. And they'll find the syringe of parasites. But they'll take them and they'll throw me in uh some kind of cell awaiting execution.
Hmm. Um, I think it's worse than that in that they'll actually task you with hunting down any Terranors that might be part of this plot and eliminating them.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
this is a crime syndicate, and they're very adept at giving criminals like you jobs that involve more crime and making sure that they get done.
All right. You said with what was that again?
With presence, I think you're trying to be
That is a
convincing.
7.
That is a seven. Um, the the parade float moves on, and Kibeo looks at you and says, "Hmm, this is an interesting development. I thought that we could keep the Terranors tied into their terrible planet. Oh, you did. Roll a one, so the watch will go up here. Um, um, but perhaps time has come, um, where they are finally free of their shackles. Hmm. Follow.
Yeah, speaking of shackles, if you again, you just really tight. I've got claustrophobia in the wrists, you know.
Um, hmm. I can free you from those shackles, if you can handle this situation for me.
Oh, and he leans into Stub. I can handle any situation you like.
The Terranor situation
Oh, right.
specifically.
Yeah, that specific situation, of course, of course.
And like the float that he's on is kind of like moving through the crowd and he's continuing to wave as people are like, Stugg, Kibeo, you killed my mother, I love you. Things like that. Um, and you are kind of, yeah, just kind of like waddling along like velvet ashes is being brought along. And he looks
What
at
what species is velvet, right? Is it like parrot something?
Perry, which is like a bird person,
All right,
essentially.
got it.
Um, I can dig up an image of them. I have illustrations of the Perry. Um, and I'm trying to remember the name of the uh, guard or guards here. I think there was a Mesta. So like Stug Cabello says, Mesta, is it? You can free him from his cuffs, but put one of the trackers on him. Um, And you feel the extremely tight handcuffs releasing, but then you feel like there's maybe a very quick whisper in your ear of like this might hurt a lot. And you hear you feel something being inserted into your forearm.
Ah,
And Mesta, the Kibeo, the syndicate guard, says, "You have 2 hours to eliminate this threat that you have um, identified for us, and Stug will certainly be appreciative of you handling this matter if
you
you
get-
if you handle it."
if when, and it will be at least 2 hours from now. Maybe can we flex a bit? Maybe like 2.5.
No, it's already been in the tracker's already been inserted, and I apologize, but that is going to poison your bloodstream in 2 hours. If I were to remove it before the task is complete, um, it it would be messy. We would need a very impressive surgeon to be able to do that. We'd never really thought about taking these things out prematurely, so I'm afraid I can't negotiate this point with you. But you got your handcuffs off.
True, and this is, I'd be lying if I said this is the worst thing that's been inserted in me. Uh, all right, well, I'll get on the job. My boy here, Violet, Birdman here, he can come with, yeah?
Oh, no, 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 no.
Oh, sorry, buddy. He just slaps him on the shoulder and jaunts away.
And you see Velvet Ashes look your way, and he kind of like shrugs. And you can see that he is expecting not to come out of whatever this situation is, as he is strung along behind the parade float. And you can hear the crowd starting to say, like, Stug Cabello has captured Velvet Ashes. Amazing. And people are very excited about the capturing this bounty hunter. Um, we'll come back to this. But let's cut over to Jane Doe 2.0. Jane, you are headed to the wall with Bora Ron. I believe that you probably like past some of the dissipating crowds from behind the parade where you are. And I think along the way, you see Fix and Hijack kind of like making their way down another street. So your paths are crossing.
Just checking, do we see Fix and Hijack, or is Fix, are we retconning Fix leaving
Oh,
doctor's office?
I mean, and Fix could like veer away here to go to Dr. Quantum's office. I think this is pretty quickly after the you have left Dr. Quantum's presence.
Hi, Jack. Any luck?
Of a
Oh,
sort.
this is Bor. She and I have some history. She's going to be helping us.
All
I
right.
don't know if help is the right way to put this, but I'll be here. I can't let Jane Doe 2.0 out of my eyes again.
And if you were to, what's the worst that would happen to you specifically?
Oh, you'd have to ask Jane about that.
Is this due to some sort of limitation of your eyes? Have you considered an upgrade?
The only eyes that I could use would be eyes in the back of my head to keep more eyes on this one.
Primitive.
Honestly.
No.
And if you all are friends,
Gauche.
I'm surprised you haven't already installed your own. Treacherous creature, this thing. Thunk thunk, like she taps on.
Would you mind keeping your hands to yourself?
Would you mind keeping your murders to yourself instead of trying to pin them on me?
Maybe you didn't do that murder, but you've done other murders.
Oh, I've done plenty of murders, but not that one. Not the one that has gotten me blacklisted by the syndicate.
Yet you seem to be doing well for yourself. Therefore, there's no problem with us.
The only reason I'm doing well is they shut down the jail.
And you're not in there. So, no harm, no foul.
I'm still in there. I work for Trunga Tort.
You're
You've
in
seen
charge.
Trunga Tort.
I have. Quite a specimen.
A
A lot
specimen,
of
but an
blood.
idiot.
A lot of blood in that one.
Hmm.
Yes. Sorry, you were saying.
Oh, I was just making sure that everyone was aware of how terrible a thing you are.
Hmm. I'm assure you, excuse me, I assure you, my crew knows me better than you do. Probably.
Oh, do they?
Anyway, we were heading
Anyway,
to the walls.
yes, I may have a way to get us through, or at least closer. And
Well,
at
shall
this
we?
point, you probably notice that he's wearing a zookeeper outfit.
Uh-huh.
I think Jane doesn't pay attention to what people really wear. Um, it's she's probably assuming that's what you always look like.
Zookeeper blindness.
Yeah, I don't see
It's
zookeepers.
Mhm.
fairly common with vampire robots, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. To me, you're all zookeepers.
Yeah, Hijack will explain he has a badge. The slight problem being that it's a little expired, but only a little.
And
We can.
Oran was helping us look at the walls. What was Oran's plan for the walls? Was she just coming along? I don't remember.
Yeah, she is essentially like making sure that you've borrowed this piston gauntlet for
Right.
presumably breaking through the walls, and you wanted to like go investigate the walls, and you essentially promised Trunga Tort, if I'm remembering, that you would break through
Yes.
and help him topple Stugg Kibeo's empire here. Um, and so Bororan is, I think, herself just interested in keeping an eye on you, suspicious that you might be up to something. But yeah, one way or the other.
All right. Well, if your badge does not work, we have an alternate method of getting through the walls.
Brute force.
I would point out to you that this wall, this is Boris speaking, that this wall is fairly thick. It's not like the wall of whatever crummy little hovel you dwell in. It might take more than a piston gauntlet to make your way through, or at least it's going to take a very long time with just that thing. Trungator does believe in just powering through things, but that's not always the best solution. Here, I can show you the wall just to prove it to you. I can see the skepticism in your faces.
Well, considering you have a vested interest in this going poorly for Jane Doe and thus the rest of us, you'll excuse some skepticism, please.
Oh, I see you're on to me. I
Oh my
don't need
God, she's just
extra
rubbing it
eyes.
in how much she sees.
Mhm.
Well, show us, son.
Yes, let's see this. Let's see this wall that you believe we cannot get through.
Let's continue on then. Go ahead, Jane. It's just down that road.
I stride forward. Yeah, I'm going to walk down the road towards the wall. I'm not afraid of
Um,
Boron.
and I assume Hijack is as well.
Nope.
No.
No, he's just fucking off.
Just veering back to the Elementorium
Yep.
in your
Got the
zookeeper outfit.
zookeeper thing going on.
Cool. And then Fix.
I think I'll tag along with Hijack,
Nice.
abandoning the retcon.
Yeah, fair enough.
Forget that person. They're a weirdo.
Um, let's cut back to the parade route where Leland is um leaving the presence of Stugg Kibeo's float here and bumps into Trip. And Trip, presumably you know that Leland is part of the primary crew for this particular job. But does Leland know that Trip is a ancillary member of this crew?
Not at all.
Okay.
So how does this introduction develop?
Well, what does Trip look like? Give me a visual.
Um, so I actually found the closest thing I got is if you can go to the guest stars, I found a character from a anime called Tokyo Aliens.
Hmm.
And so he kind of looks like that. Like I said, pale skin, white hair, purple eyes, black generally, quasi-militarist, but more like ruffled cuffs kind of outfit. Looks modestly dandy, as dandy as you can be in all black and silver.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, I mean, like Leland is just sort of snooping around in his cobalt blue jumpsuit by Gautier.
Oh, we're gonna get along.
And yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, my parents bought it, but I say that I shoplifted. Um, but yeah, no, it's kind of skulking about, and are you so like, am I? I'm not in the palace though, right? Because we haven't answered that.
Correct. Yeah, you're still in Craterion City itself.
Got it. So yeah, I mean, I guess yeah, Leland is just sort of looking shifty. He's got 2 hours to figure a way out of this. He's sort of just like mimicking, like looking under random surfaces and like trying to look active and uh, investigatory. Uh, but there's a point where he just kind of like stops and pulls out a cigarette and just kind of he pulls out his lighter and just realizing that the lighter's not working. He just
Okay. Yeah, that'll be perfect. He'll pull out his bejeweled space lighter. And do you need a light, dear boy?
Yeah, I mean, I've got one.
Click, click.
Yeah, he'll lean in. Thanks.
You're welcome. I uh I assume you know who I am.
Should I?
Yes. Uh Apologies. Perhaps you did not get the dossier. I am His Most August Excellency Lord Wharton Grandino Silver the Third. You can call me Trip.
The dossier.
I assume you received the dossier. I got dossiers on all of you.
I don't know what the dossier is.
A dossier is a
Good.
collection of papers with information on it about people.
Oh, I just usually call him Stack, you know. Good to meet you, Trip. Well, wait, you know who I am then? So wait, you know, I'm with a crew, right? You know, I'm not an exterminator like I told Stubb then. You're not with Stubb then.
No,
Very
not
good.
at all. Not at all. I'm with you.
Right. Get me out of here.
Claps his hands, kind of expects something to happen, but then realizes he's not at home. Um, and then goes, yes, right. No servants. This way.
He'll kind of look around, make sure the coast is clear, but he'll follow.
You don't happen to have a spare one of those smokes, do you?
No, no, I don't have no space. And he's got like a 9 out of a 12 pack. He just sort of tucks into his chest pocket.
Very good, very good.
Yeah, none to
Nicely.
spare. None to spare, unfortunately. So
So,
wait, what brings you here? Why wasn't we told about you, or I told about you? Did the others know you're here? Did they
no,
read the dossier?
uh, I I assumed you all had dossiers, but since you don't, or perhaps you're illiterate. I'm not sure.
A lot of things, but I'm not illiterate.
The
Very
camera
well.
cuts to the back at the ship above the crater, and it's like moving through the ship, and you just see like a stack of unopened dossiers like sitting on a table, and then it cuts back.
I imagine there's like an ashtray on top of it with
Yes,
like just
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
piles of cigarettes, but
Uh-huh.
you know.
I think Trip will pull a similarly jeweled metallic flask from his pocket, take a sip from it, and offer it to his new squire.
Oh yeah, I'll have a sip and I'll throw it back. What's it taste like?
So the planet that I'm from, we're actually well known for our liquor. Like we're a giant planet of vineyards, basically. So it's like a real fruity, like a fruity like Merlot-esque, really peachy or really plummy, uh sweet but not too sweet, kind of like a an after dinner drink.
Yeah, he'll take a couple more sips and then just instinctively put the flask into his back pocket.
No, 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 no.
Sorry, I forgot myself. Uh, he hands it off. He hands it back to you. So we need to find the others. Have you
Yes, yes.
seen the others? Do you know
No.
the others?
Um, I yes, my character. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I have been briefed before my arrival. Um, your robot friend, your uh, I'm trying to be upper class and I'm trying not to slip into Jack's accent, but it's very hard because Jack's accent is very good. So,
Um,
uh,
with this, we're going to cut to the others, but not before the camera kind of like moves back from the two of you in this conversation, and we see this like a gaggle of like maybe three or four of these uh, um, um, affiliated gang members. They're not syndicate members. They kind of are like space truckers who lost their jobs to machinas at some point. Kind of rough and rowdy character. Like imagine like they've got really chunky big goggles, kind of like a Mad Max sort of look, black leather clothes, really hefty boots. And they are just kind of like keeping their eyes on you. And maybe you look over your shoulder as you are smoking one of these Merlot flavored cigarettes and kind of see this like gruff crew or notice that this gruff crew, no matter where you are turning down the corridors of Craterion City, is tailing you. Um, One other note, Jack, I changed your, per the previous scene, I changed your condition from handcuffed and in custody to task of eliminating any Terranors in Criterion City.
Got it. Did they take my syringe or do I still have it?
You used your syringe for the role, so
Yeah, but I just mean
you
like narratively, like
narratively, I think however you want that to play out, whether you
okay,
gave it to them or whether you kept it, I think it is fine either way.
okay.
What do you think?
Um, I'll leave it vague for now.
Okay,
Unless you want to take it, it's fine. Because
no,
I
that's
like it
yeah.
could be if it's a complication, I'm fine with that. But
Yeah, I think the complication here was just the kind of like task revolving, and
got it,
then I think additionally Velvet Ashes being taken away
got
for
it.
whatever terrible fate
Rest in
might
peace.
yeah.
Yep.
Um, let's cut to Fix and Hijack walking towards the zoologic elementorium. What are you all doing? What are you looking for? What's the objective here? Um, yeah.
I have this badge.
Mm-hmm.
We can use it to maybe find another flaw or exploit in the wall that we can uh, use. This probably isn't the most convenient access point, so hopefully it'll allow for something better
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
At one
without
point,
getting
we had
us
a
arrested.
at one point we had a theory that there might be some sort of shortcut connecting this area to Stuggs for like private access, in the
Yeah,
same way that somebody rich might buy
Mm-hmm.
out an entire restaurant or floor of a hotel, that he might also have some way to have this area to himself, and therefore a way to be unbothered in transitioning from his home base to here.
Yeah, so I kind of like the idea of like now that like Carlisle, you are in this zookeeper's outfit, like it feels like you might just like try and go past a door that says employees only, like that kind of thing, and sort of like snoop around here. Um,
yes.
why don't you give me a collection roll with reason?
Oh, that's my good stat. Okay. That would be 14.
Our very first 12. Um, okay. I dig this. You discover a flaw or exploit decided by the keeper. Um, so yeah, tell me a little bit. Maybe since you're both in the scene, we'll establish it this way. Fix, where do you see Hijack like Hijack walks past an employees only door or gate, something like that. Um, uh, a reminder that the zoologic elementorium, yes, that's what it's called, are these giant glass terrariums that are what 4 stories high or higher maybe even that are themed around the different elements and have all these like dangerous creatures that have been collected by the syndicate. Um, but yeah, where do you see Carlisle duck into? And do you follow?
I
You
don't
do
think I
not have
do.
a zookeeper's outfit.
Yeah, I think instead I'm wearing medical whites, and had thought that if if we got stopped, I would either pose as a VIP who's being given a guided tour
Oh, okay.
or a vet, depending on whether we're behind the scenes or not.
Hmm, hmm,
I figured this is I was just looking at my kit and I brought along civilian clothes fancy. So I figured that this is his attempt at blending in while we're here. So I think that I'm playing lookout. As far as where he slipped into, I think we watched for long enough to see who's walking by, who's got the big ring of keys
hmm,
on their belt, and wherever they went, we sort of followed. So I think that there was probably a stretch where there are personal ablution facilities for guests, and behind that, and perhaps a series of vending machines, there's an unmarked door that presumably leads deeper into the employee area that has a number of warning stickers on it. I think that there's like the best ones, some sort of a shock going down to a humanoid being electrocuted that says
hmm, hmm,
entering in here carries a risk of not just dying but suffering the entire time.
hmm, hmm,
There's a flask being tipped with some sort of caustic thing, and you could see a tentacle that has a hole that's being bored in it. All sorts of
hmm, hmm.
danger signs to try and keep people out of the back area. So
Um,
while
and I will add one more sign to that.
Mhm.
There's one that says Stugg's pets are unleashed.
Just reminder, Stug's pets
Uh-huh.
are unleashed.
Among all these, it seems like yeah, a milder warning.
Hmm.
Yet it is paired with all of these very like dire and deadly warnings, which I think the two of you piece together. There could be something quite terrible about this detail. Um, you can continue what you were going to say, or
Yeah, I was just going to account for what Fix is doing while
okay,
patiently waiting outside,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
which is probably like tapping on the glass of one of the things to try and see if he can get an animal to like spit at him or something.
Uh-huh. And I feel like you're reading these signs that Hijack
Hmm.
did not read.
Yeah.
Um, that said, Hijack, you have found the tunnel that you were looking for. Your suspicion is correct, that there is a tunnel that goes directly from inside the crime palace to here. Um, an important detail, this is not for Stugg Kibeo to use, but for his pet lizard hounds
Oh,
who
good.
roam free in this tunnel.
Excellent.
And so I think that you like walk into this room and you just see it is not a small number. There are dozens of these things, these sort of like lizards the size of large dogs, with just menacing looks upon their faces, long tongues. I'm kind of thinking of like just like giant Komodo dragons. Um, and they are all just like staring at you and grinning as you like step through this door into this tunnel. And you notice that they are not leashed.
Naturally, yeah.
You have
Well,
plenty of opportunity to just step back away from this, if you would like. Um, Something else happens though. Um, your comms after you have stepped through this door, um, kind of switch from being able to hear Fix and maybe like the faint chattering of the rest of the crew as they get further and further away from your location. Um, and you hear music. You hear 16 tons. The end of that song is playing all of a sudden. And I have to look up this little detail. We'll come back to this. Um, let's cut to Jane, and then we'll take a little break. Um, Jane, you and Bor Oran have reached the wall, and Bor looks at you and says, "See, it's a giant fucking wall."
It's not as impressive as you'd led me to believe. I'm
I
very
mean, it's
surprised
a
you haven't been able to get through
wall.
this. Hmm.
Oh, is that so? How would you get through this, Jane? You can't frame it for murder.
You're really gonna have to get over that.
No, I don't.
Well, you do you, I suppose. Let me see. Let me look at this wall. And I want to get a good look at the wall and see if I can spot any
Yeah.
like structural failings or anything like that.
Yeah, give me a collection with reason here.
How tall is this wall?
Um, it's a good question. It is actually lined up in the description here. I just need to look it up. I don't know why it matters that much, but it's why didn't I just put it there? Um, the wall. 5 stories.
Okay, that's pretty tall. All right,
Yeah.
with reason. Do I have anything that's useful?
A vulture.
I mean, my vulture is always useful. Gerald is the most useful, but I'm going to save him. I'm just going to use this. Reason's my worst stat, so
Oh, okay.
Oh,
this is going to be fine. 3,
A 1 and a 2.
a 1, and a 2. Sorry, that's a 2.
It's a 1 and
Fabulous.
a 1. All right.
'Cause I had -1.
Yeah. So on a 6 minus, instead of discovering a flaw or exploit, you face a keeper reaction. And this also is another 1, so this will make it go time when we get back, unless there's a Bondi that can be thrown at that 1.
Um, yeah, sure. You know what? I've got a 6 for you, Jane.
Oh, good.
The
Um,
power of friendship.
I can describe a little bit of like what is going wrong here, but you know what? I think we've foreshadowed it enough. I think that as Jane begins inspecting a wall and looking at it very intently to figure out why a wall might have more information on it, and is caught up in that, Bor Oran is going to make her move.
Yep. I kind of want her. I kind of want this to. Oh no, because I don't want to.
So wait, real quick question though, because you had a -1.
Yeah,
If I give you the 6
that brings
and
me
you
to
have a
7.
t so okay, got it.
Yeah.
And so as you are, maybe, maybe you hear as you get closer and closer, you hear Bororan start chuckling. Um, and you hear her say, you know, Kibeo's very concerned about potential revolt of machinations. And you feel yourself being drawn very quickly to the wall.
Oh no.
That fucker's magnetized.
Oh no. I'm stuck like a fridge magnet.
And you feel the pull and clunk. You are just like stuck, glued to the side of this wall as Boraran is laughing maniacally.
wow. More like
Okay.
stuck Kibeo.
Whoa. All right. Am I able to because I have that piston thing, right? That we were going to
Um,
use to break through the wall.
yeah, I think that Leland is throwing a Bondi your way, though, right?
Yeah, that is true.
So
Yeah. So Leland, how are you helping me?
how have you? We can flashback, or you could pop up here as
Yeah, I
well.
mean, yeah, maybe it's just me and Trip have been walking and talking and smoking and drinking. Um, and maybe we just sort of mosey into the scene.
I think you get there right as I thunk into the wall.
Yeah, like boy. And yeah, Trip, you'll see Leland sort of perk up when he hears the thunk. You were there, right?
Yes, it
You,
sounded very
you
much like.
yeah. We should go ahead. You go first, though. Because I'm really good at the back end stuff. But you go ahead. I'll be right behind you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think
I'll
I'm just
just
stuck to the wall.
And then when he sees Jane, he'll like push Trip away and like try to like clinch like try to get you off the wall. Janie, what are you doing here?
I'm stuck.
Oh, I can see
I'm
that.
stuck to the wall.
Uh, Trip, buddy old pal, get the other arm. And Leland's gonna try and yank Jane from this wall, but I assume it's a very heavy duty magnet.
It's a pretty heavy duty magnet, but I mean, you're gonna find some way to solve this. Yeah, I don't know. What are you thinking?
I was just thinking pure brute strength, unless Trip has any other ideas.
um perhaps the control panel. You know,
Uh,
the thing with all the buttons.
Oh, he's good.
I kind of even like the idea of like Leland is just like I like has gotten some type of like non metal like thing and is using it as a crowbar to get like Jane off, and then Trip just walks over this control panel.
Oh yeah, no, there's not
Uh
even a crowbar thing. He's just like on her back, like with his hands on her arm, just trying to like rip it off.
Boop, 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 boop.
and Jane falls to the ground. And Boraran says, "How many friends here can you possibly have?"
I would like to take this moment to vampire attack Bororon for being a jerk and betraying us.
Fair, fair. I mean, she just let you walk towards the wall.
Yeah,
Um, take for what it's worth as the flaw here that you have earned from collection. Why don't you take the wall is magnetized?
yeah.
And give me how are you making your move on Bororan?
I think I think I say something cool like Stugg Kibeo is worried about machinas. He should be extra worried about me. And then my teeth grow really long and fangy, and my eyes flash red, and I swoop up, my cape kind of fluttering behind me, and just jump at her, vampire
Okay.
style.
So this will be an escalation with vitality. What could go wrong here?
Maybe you know what? I'm worried that she has some sort of anti-vampire defense mechanism on her. Like maybe she's just always afraid of vampires.
Yeah, and I guess it's worse than that is she's also always afraid of Machina as well. So
So really, this is my
she's
my worst enemy.
she's well equipped for both scenarios. Yeah, roll those dice for us.
With vitality. Vitality is a good stat for me. Come on, roll. 8.
And the dice are
5 and 2.
5 and 2. Cool. With an 8, you come out on top, but there are difficult consequences in a keeper reaction. So what do you? You're not eliminating Bororon, but what do you do here? Describe this for us.
I think I sink my fangs into her neck and start drinking her blood, knocking her to the ground. Uh, and for some, I like the idea that she does have all of these anti-vampire things, but they don't work. because I'm a machina. I'm not a regular vampire. And I think there's like crosses and crucifixes and garlic flying around
Hmm.
uh yeah, that's how I start to drink her blood. I'm feeling very thirsty.
Um, as you do that, um, the complication here is that Trip and Leland have been followed by members of the Morning Horde, spelled with a U, the morning, not the horde. Um, and um, they see what's going on, and they recognize because they've heard Leland talking about a Terranor's threat here on Craterion City. Um, and so one of them says, um, "Go tell the syndicate this Leland Zero guy's in cahoots with the Terranors." And one of them starts running away as the others descend on the trio of you. Um, and let's take a break there. We'll come back at 10 minutes from now, middle of the hour.
Sounds good.
And yeah, cool. And we're back. As the camera is seeing this scene of the morning horde, or this group of morning horde like race in, sending somebody out to tell the syndicate um, of what's going on. Um, and Jane Doe 2.0 just pummeling Boron. We cut back to Hijack within this tunnel, staring at these lizards with this staticky song playing in your ear. And at this moment in the cut, it's the one fist of iron, one fist of steel line. And the song kind of fades out. Um, and you hear kind of a raspy voice of someone who has been smoking cigarettes their entire life. I think the camera even maybe cuts a little bit, and we see a soundboard that's lit by this like yellow and orange light. And we just see kind of a um, weathered old knobby hand adjusting these controls, maybe, or two hands, like one is adjusting the controls, the other certainly has a cigarette in hand. And we can see out this window of just we don't see the person, but we see out this window of just a starry sky or starry space. And there is a dying sun, a sun that's on the verge of becoming a black hole, just in I guess the foreground, but like just like taking up the shot. And we hear a voice that says, "That's 16 tons. And what do you get? We've got Carlisle Lapointe from the Starways here on air. Um, Carlisle, why are you calling the Lost Sun this afternoon?"
Uh, Without entirely taking his eyes off of the lizard hounds, he's going to kind of turn toward the direction of his calm and say, "What?"
Carlisle, you're on air.
I'm on,
I think you probably talked to the producer ahead of time. Should be ready for this. Make sure that your speakers are muted, um, just to make sure we don't get any feedback. But I'm here for you, Carlisle.
Actually, I'd appreciate some feedback. A lot of it, very loud. Highest pitch you can manage. Can you help me with that?
Right in your ear right now.
Yes.
Let me see what I can work up. And
He'll take the comm out, of course, but
yeah, and you do get that the sound of strange feedback is coming through. And I think I'm assuming it's kind of what the lizards are kind of like backing away.
That's the hope. And not that it's like a lizard hound dinner bell.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And yeah, I mean, it's giving you space. It's giving you some comfort within this space.
Yeah, he has no idea what's going on here, but as long as it's useful, he'll allow it. Um,
And you can
Holding the
hear like
calm
through
out.
the comm, like yeah, the feedback then dies down. Yeah.
No, 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 more, please.
The point here, Carlisle, is to have a little conversation.
Oh, good. Well, a quick one then, shall we?
How are things going in the Starways these days?
Never a dull moment, unfortunately.
Hmm. Really wish that things could be more restful out there. Always was an idyllic space.
Was it? Always.
As far as I can remember, as far as callers, have been speaking to me for years now, decades really, and uh, seems like it's been a pleasant place to be.
Well, you should come see it yourself.
Mm.
Maybe a little man on the street interview action,
The
as it
space
were.
between us, it used to be a lot closer, but it's grown quite distant over time. Um, Carlisle, the universe is not made up of objects moving away from each other like rats from a fire. It's the space between objects, between all of us that's expanding. If you could take any two objects and fix them in place, you'd find over time they grow more and more distant.
Colder, too, as I understand it.
Mm-hmm. It's the expansion of the universe. And so I find myself these days much further from you, from the starways that I once was.
When you were less far, what was your favorite joint to spend your time in?
Oh, Craterion City was quite a beautiful place back in the day. I don't know what it's like now. I don't know if you've been there recently.
Funny you should
But
mention.
a sunset that could last weeks, if not months. Quite a beautiful thing to experience.
And the fauna. Notable, yes?
Yeah, they have some weird names for the creatures out there, don't they?
Any experience with lizard hounds?
None so far as I know. I don't think that those are native to that planet. Is that something that you are having some trouble with? Oh my. I've heard they have issues with radio feedback.
Well, isn't that convenient?
It is convenient. Well, we're about out of time here. Carlisle Lapointe from the Starways. Um, that said, I hope that your bout with these lizards ends up going well, and and someday maybe the space between us will not be quite as large.
One can hope.
There's one lowly voice from a dying star, signing off,
What the
and then the
devil was
transmission
that?
ends. There's a thing that you're going to pick up here. This is a transmission from the Lost Sun. It's one of the possible campaign hits. And what you get is, I mean, you're talking to this weird space radio DJ, and you can jot down in your the campaign section. There's transmissions from the Lost Sun, and the separation of space. So, like his little like their little piece of information here is that space is not moving away from itself. It's the space between things that's growing. You can just call it the separation of space is what it is. And then that is something that you can use towards the solving the campaign and entering the lair of the galactic emperor, the ghost emperor, the galactic overlord. So a little piece of evidence. It's not evidence but information that you can utilize. Um, with that, doot, 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 fix. Let's cut over to you. Um, you are outside of this. Carlisle's been gone for a hot minute here. What have you been up to?
I think he succeeded in getting one of the animals to spit some sort of compound up on the other side of the glass, and he was pressing his strange eyeball right up against it to see how much detail he could pick out. And then, when he was pretty sure nobody was looking, we saw him put the dainty tip of his tongue out against the glass and give it a little lick, and then give a disappointed look like he didn't learn anything about the goop on the other end.
Or did you roll collection with vitality?
Alrighty. Cool. A weak stat of ours. Let's find out what we learn.
It could be reason, I guess. I don't know. It's your tongue, so that's why I said vitality.
Yeah, we got a 7 composed of a 6 and a 1.
Okay.
Actually, no, it's worse than that. With the -1, it's a 6. Complete miss.
Um, why did you lick the side of this terrarium? I mean, I know, I suspect why.
Uh, on the off chance that if I could get some sort of sense of the hydrocarbons that made up the acid that had been spit, that might mean that it was effective against the barrier. It might be usable. It might
Um,
just be something novel. We might also be taking a synthetic tongue for a test drive.
yeah, whatever chemical is used to clean this glass and keep it, I mean, this is a fairly desert portion of the planet. There
Hmm.
is probably a fairly like toxic dust, and so an equally toxic chemical is used to treat the outside of this terrarium to
Hmm.
prevent it from gathering this dust. And as you lick the terrarium or this window um, and pull your tongue back. You feel a burning sensation on your tongue
Hmm.
that is kind of like, um, I think, dissolving your taste buds.
Hmm.
Like you have that, like, I'm thinking of it in my head, but like it almost feels like there's like plastic wrap over your tongue all of a sudden. Like it feels kind of like, um, yeah, like removed from its ability to sense. That it's Yeah, I think you can't even necessarily like your tongue is still there.
Yeah.
But you can't even feel that your tongue is there. So like even as you're like pressing against your teeth and you kind of like bite your
Hmm.
tongue with your teeth, you can't feel that. You have lost your taste. Um, take that as a condition. Yeah. Um, tongue problems. Um, with the one, the watch has gone up by one, which puts us at go time. There has been we'll cut over to the group and you can kind of describe like how you deal with the morning horde in this particular situation, just to kind of like wrap that end up. But then we do, because of the amount of alerts, the amount of attention that you have drawn to yourselves, sneaking behind employee doors, licking a terrarium, getting in fights with the local gangs. You are not going to be able to stay in the outskirts of Craterion City. You are going to have to advance your heist and move into the Crime Palace itself. So, the thing that we will do is figure out how to deal with that first question of how can you get within the palace, complexity of 4, using some number of your flaws and exploits that you have obtained. Um, yeah, but let's, from a narrative perspective, like let's wrap up this perimeter scene by going to the big bout at the base of the wall. Uh, Jane, Trip, and Leland, what does this ensuing fight skirmish with these members of the Morning Horde look like?
Well, I imagine when Trip demagnetized the wall and Jane fell off, Leland was beneath her. And so, her 1.5 ton body just sort of crushing his ribs, obviously. Um, but, they spoon. It's fine. Um, so when she leaps and goes for, what's her name? Bonamora? Boramora?
Boraran?
Boron. When she leaps for Boron, and when we notice the morning guard uh, creeping up on the scene, uh, Leland will sort of clenching his ribs, cough up a bit of blood, and seeing the guy sprinting off to go alert Stub, um, Leland will sprint upwards. He will use Trip's body to sort of give himself more momentum, and he'll hiss at Trip to get the other one as Leland goes chasing after the other. Joe's chasing after the guard member who's running towards the palace to try and alert.
I think despite that effort, like one is just like you can see them like running off in the distance, and so we get that like shot of like the two of you out of breath, and as you kind of like see the like duck around a corner. Um, but did anyone else want to add anything to this particular scene?
I I will point at Jane Doe 2.0, and then I will gesture at my own mouth and go, that was not in the dossier.
It wasn't. It's true.
Yes, this is a new development. I am Jane. Shall we fight these thugs together?
Rather. Shing!
I just shing my bangs.
um Cool. And then we cut in time, and the five of you have gathered up somewhere. Perhaps let's set it up this way. It's Dr. Quantum's lab on the other side of the city. Fix has brought you all there, and you are in some back room with the information and the things that you have obtained. Maybe a little beat up, scraped up, unable to taste the sweet candy of um, Dr. Quantum's sweet candy. That sounds
Sweet,
terrible.
sweet candy. Yeah. Well, they're doctors, so they have lollipops, right?
Yes, that's what I was trying to get to, and didn't know how to get to there. But yeah, so you are in some like back room of Dr. Quantum's lab. Fix, you have, I mean, part of you coming back here, like we'll just establish, is that you have graciously installed extra pinkies on Dr. Quantum's hand. So you have that as a additional flaw or exploit or kit piece, an asset to use. All right. How are we getting within the palace? We'll do this and then we'll kind of wrap up the session for the week. We know that there is a massive wall, higher than most structures. It has limited gates, and every one of those gates is heavily guarded. Complexity of 4 here. How do we want to get through the wall?
I have a jetpack.
Do you think 50 feet is high enough?
Well, assuming each story is about 10 feet,
Okay.
we could also use the
It
fact
gets
that
you right to the edge. It's
Yeah.
as if that
Then
was
we
like
just have to,
specifically designed.
yeah. And then all we have to do is hit the magnetism button. If everyone's clinging to me and I jetpack us all up, somehow we hit the magnetism button again, and I'll zhung to the wall. Everyone can climb up over the wall. Then we just have to get down and somehow get me unstuck.
True.
Hmm.
Seems like it would be
Um,
safer if we used you as a grappling hook then. I don't see why we're clinging to you as you go up.
Oh yeah.
Just tie a rope around you.
do we have a rope to add into this? Well, we got a
Damn it.
cable. We have cable that's 100 feet, so I mean, I guess we could use
We
that.
could even braid it in half so it's stronger.
To support four extra people.
Hmm.
It's hijacked. I don't know if he likes to braid his cable, so I don't want to be
It's
presumptuous.
must.
Um,
That's secretly Hijack's busy handwork is that he braids all of his cables.
so here's the T though. The wall is still magnetized, incredibly magnetized. Presumably the cable is also metal.
Mm,
Mm.
And the jetpack is also metal, and Jane is
mm,
also metal.
mhm.
So we've got to figure out a way to counter
Well,
the
the wall isn't
magnetization.
magnetized right now because Trip turned it off.
Well, we don't know if like a guard might turn back on though.
Good point.
Because they're onto us, they're hip to us. But there is a lightning storm that's in the forecast, so maybe we could say that the lightning storm, there's a bolt of lightning that precisely hits that control panel at the exact moment we need it to.
How do we get it to precisely hit it? What I have an empty slot.
Uh, the bonus pinkies. Lightning loves pinkies. So,
Well, we could repurpose the cable to turn it into a lightning rod by running the cable up to someplace high that we can get access to via the elementorium, because that's
Mm.
got altitude. So if we run the cable down to the box so that any lightning that hits the elementorium
Oh,
also gets routed down to the control box to short it out.
We can get Gerald to bring the thing up to the high point because he can fly.
Does he also know how to like tie a knot to affix a cable?
No, he's probably not that good. Oh, Gerald. I have to teach him a
he
nice thing
is a little
too.
stupid. Yeah.
Poor Gerald.
We love him though.
But like
Um,
we know that we've got this high-ranking security badge that could, in theory, get us to the roof of the elementorium. So if we combine security badge, lightning storm, magnetized wall, cable jetpack, we're like overqualified for this plan slightly.
how are you dealing with the security badge being expired in this story? I guess
We're
we could
holding our
also.
thumb over that part of the badge
Oh,
exactly.
as we
Yeah.
show
okay,
it.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Just kind of hide it, you know.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Like a
Right.
kid
Never
Um,
trying to buy
never swipe it
alcohol.
on anything, just
Yeah.
show it to people.
okay, so give me the
Or,
whole plan here. Okay, go ahead.
or, because we still have the issue of all of us climbing on Jane to get up there,
Hmm.
Hmm.
so we could use the cable still for that. And we could say that instead of trying to use the security bag for clearance because it is expired, could say that it is highly conductive to electricity. And so
Look at that.
Gerald can wear it.
We put a lanyard on Gerald with
Yeah, and
with the
it'll
security
attract the
badge.
lightning.
Oh, Gerald.
Yeah.
It's a
Poor
good thing you can
Gerald.
make a backup, Gerald.
Yeah, if
Gerald
we put
2.
Gerald in the box
Yeah.
instead of Leland, that was a mistake on our part, maybe.
But that's just another approach. I'm open to either. I just like trying to account for us getting up there safely.
Yeah.
Hmm. I mean, we could do drugs at it.
I mean, that's usually Leland's go-to.
What if
Astrally
everybody takes a
project beyond the
dose
wall.
of Acceleroid Plus? You guys want the muscle mass and
Do we
the
want to use that now though?
it's on offer. I don't know. I
Okay.
can always hear its siren call.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Any difficulty
I like
face
that
is
every
like, should I do drugs at this?
Yeah.
I like that in this backroom conversation, like as you all are like working through the details, Fix is just like, I've got a drug for that.
Of course he does.
Yeah.
Leland is considering.
The one thing that would pull this entire plan together. Acceleroid broth.
That tongue's really doing a number on you.
I was thinking about cutting it out before we continue any further.
Do you have
Since
another
all
one
of the surgical instruments are here,
I mean, do
and
you
I
have a
don't really,
replacement?
I'm not even really concerned about a replacement.
I'm sorry, are you also a vampire?
In a
Great
manner of
question.
speaking.
Sort of, but I'm not limited by teeth. I have collecting tools, but I do have quite a bit of blood.
We
Have
do.
you
Okay,
ever
so we have
Go ahead.
we have 6 assets that I think are on the table as
We
being
just
used in
have
this
to, we actually
scenario.
have to lace them together now.
Just give me the. I think I'm hearing the plot here, but let's hear it all together at once.
Are we sticking with electrocuting Gerald?
I would rather not electrocute Gerald.
Well, I didn't say we were electrocuting him. Like just this could be a very lightning resistant vulture. We don't. I mean,
We don't know the species that well, to be honest.
exactly. I'm not a zoologist.
Might be some kind of thunderbird.
Exactly. Um,
And I would just note that if we establish the uh, space vultures, as being particularly conductive to electricity, that becomes canon and will be true for the rest of the campaign.
I mean, might not be a bad idea to do it
That might be fun, yeah.
That's fun.
because we might have to use Gerald for something else electrical related and um. All right, so.
All right.
I think what we're doing is this. Someone correct me if I'm wrong.
Hmm.
We know the wall is magnetized, so to counteract the magnetism, we need to short out the control panel. We are going to do that by using the forthcoming lightning storm in the forecast to our advantage. We're going to hang the high-ranking security badge lanyard from our pet vulture Gerald. He's rather unruly, but he's going to cooperate right now. But he's going to fly high up into the sky to oh wait. Are
Connected
we
by
not
a
using
cable.
this? Are we not using the tunnel at the Elementorium?
Sure doesn't sound like it.
Wait,
Okay.
what if we release the lizards from the tunnel to cause a distraction while we're doing all of this? That
I
way,
mean,
if there's any guards that are trying to turn the magnetism back on, they won't even be able to because they're
that's
going
not
to
a
be
bad
busy
idea.
Oh,
dealing with
That's
the
not a bad
lizards.
idea. Yeah.
oh,
And I mean, Hijack can get real close because he's got that old-timey zookeeper outfit on. So then, yeah, maybe instead of Gerald, we go with the lizard hounds then. Save Gerald for later.
so lizards are a distraction.
But then we don't really need the security badge, do we? Or
Unless we
unless, do
need
we
that
want
to
to?
release the lizards.
Yeah, we maybe give it to Hijack so he can do
You
this
can use it
thing.
that way. And then
Yeah.
are you
And
still trying to get the cable to the top of the Elementorium or one of the
to be the lightning
terrariums?
rod.
No, because
No.
I think the point here is that we're not going to we're going to use the diversion instead of trying to short it out.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. All right. So new plan. This is what we got to do. We got to do it on the fly,
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Things come to us.
Okay.
It is go time.
Hijack
Jane.
uses the badge
Yes.
to release the lizards to cause a distraction. While we're doing that, we've demagnetized the wall.
Mm-hmm.
We
By
use the
using the
jetpack.
panel switch. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Jane will jetpack to the top of the wall with a cable trailing
Mhm.
behind her
Mm-hmm.
and hang off the top of the wall, holding on, because I can't get all the way across because it's only 50 feet. But I
Right.
can get to the top. I'll hang off the top of the wall, have the cable dangling. Everyone climbs the cable, climbs up over me. Then I roll, they pull me up. I fall off the edge while somebody ties the cable to the top. I bring it down because I can fall and not get hurt, probably. I have a
Okay.
jetpack. I can jetpack
You have
down.
a jetpack. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that way we have a cable for everyone to slide down the way back to get down, like a zip line. Foolproof.
Sounds foolproof. All right. So rolling 5 against a complexity 4. Who wants to roll those dice?
Jane, it's all on you.
Oh Lord, you really want to put this on me for how I've been rolling?
Yeah.
All right.
We got to trust your grip on the edge of the wall.
Let's go, Jane. I rolled 6.
You rolled 6?
I rolled 6. And then we
You
have plus
a
1,
+1. Yes.
7.
7.
Ooh. The plan
Dice are
works,
going
but
away.
there will be a complication.
The
It'll
D is
cause
still
a
a passing grade.
complication in the next phase. So this plan is successful. Let's do it with style. Everyone narrate your character's signature moment in executing the plan. Something memorable about their role in the action.
We see Carlisle walking through the elementorium and nodding at another zookeeper like he belongs there, and just slipping through a door and then walking back out again and leaving a zoo map folded in the door crack to keep it from closing fully. And then as he disappears back into the crowd, the long tongue followed by the pebbled snout of a lizard hound peeks through the
Mm.
crack.
And just a rush of them then follow that one up. And these are Stugg Kibeo's private collection, his own pets. So the syndicate is very panicked.
We see Jane strapping on the jetpack and tying her cloak over top of it so that when the jetpack turns on, it looks like there's fire coming out from underneath her cloak, and she zooms up into the air like a bat. And for a moment, she looks like a bat. And hanging on to the side of the wall, it looks like a bat clinging to the side of a wall, clinging underneath a rooftop. And Gerald is circling around, watching for any problems, um, and screeching.
Leland shouts from 50 feet below, "You forgot to put the cable on you!" And he's gonna start to like try and make a lasso out of it to launch it up to her. But he'll start like feeding some of the line to Trip and Fix to hopefully like help, you know, throw it over since it is a very hefty, very long, unwieldy cable. But he'll sort of like, and I don't think he gets it, since we rolled a 7. I don't think he gets it on the first try or the second try, maybe not even the third. And it's a little frustrating. And I think he'll without asking, Trip just sort of reach into the pocket, take out the flask, open it up, slam it back, put it back in his pocket, and then on the fifth try, throw the cable up, and it'll sort of land around her cowl, her Dracula cowl.
I think Trip is disappointed that there's not a lot of swashbuckling going on. This seems like there should be swashbuckling.
Mm.
Uh, so uh, he he uh, he takes the chain, the metal chain that goes around his shoulder, and he loops it around the cable, and he uses that to slide down, and he's got his rapier out, swinging at nothing, just not, but like This is how
hmm
this should be happening.
I think that while everybody else has been working their way up the cable, we see Fix slowly folding and dropping something into the mail, being an insurance claim for the time spent in the medical clinic of Dr. Quantum to make sure that we get reimbursed for our time there. There's also a little sample that's been laser scalpeled off the edge of his tongue as a little thank you for Dr. Quantum for hosting us and saying, I hope that you can do something interesting with this. Um, and then, as everyone else has been scampering up to the top, we see him doing a full set of stretches, just like get the spine limber, doing some cherry picks across the ground, going back, and then surreptitiously opening the medical jacket a little bit. And then when he comes back up, there's a little trace of powder under his nostril. And then he's like, okay, let's do this. And then goes hauling himself up the rope faster than you would think someone of his physique should be able to do. Almost recklessly wild at pushing pushing his muscles to the limit.
Um, as you all thunk down on the other side of the wall, successfully getting over the crime palace's outer security. Um, you see towering above you these triangular spires. You see this giant sphere, and what you see at the top, like maybe um, 7/8 of the way up, is that um, the sphere is kind of like split. There's just like a gap of air, and you know that that's Stugg Kibeo's suite up at the top, and you can see lights up there. And it just seems like the top of the sphere is like levitating above the rest of it. Um, you um, you see some guards patrolling the top of the wall, like past just as you have like gone down, and the camera kind of like pulls up and goes around or cuts to the other side of the wall where you came from, and we see Bororan, beaten and bloody in the dirt of Craterion City, and she kind of gets up and stretches, and it's just like, I hate Jane Doe 2.0. And she goes, but wait. Ah, ah. Oh, this is going to be interesting. As she rubs her fangs. And then we cut on this episode of Planet Raygun successfully into the facility with assets to spare. Let's go to Stars and Wishes.
Big star to Devin for jumping in. It's hard to jump in the middle of a game, especially when we've only played it once. I believe you've only played this one once. So it's big star for joining us on this adventure. I really, really loved all of the interactions between Trip and Leland. They were hilarious. They were so funny, and having these two very different kinds of characters that have some similarities as well. Um, they play off each other so well, and it was really funny. Really good moments. Um, Star to Mike for reading my mind that Bororon is now a vampire. Because I was like, I was gonna do a teaser after if you hadn't done it.
Mm,
Because that's just dramatic and fun. And we got to have another vampire for us to fight. And it's also really funny because if Stugg Kibeo is worried about vampires in Craterion City, that puts a target on Oran too,
mhm.
which is interesting. Um, the I don't know, that conversation, I suppose, with the radio host. Ben, you played that so well. I was like, what are you even gonna say? What are you even gonna do? And it was perfect. It was so good. So Star for that whole conversation was great. Um, and of course, Michael, you always go and take the wildest swings. But I think my favorite part was your narration of the stretching before and doing a little bit of drugs and then climbing up the rope. That's very, very fix. So that was a lot of fun. Um, yeah, so stars for everyone. This was really, really great. My wish is to find out if I can turn into bats, because that's a vampire thing.
I am just imagining like Jane Doe is like very committed to this whole like vampire bat thing and just looks very normal to everyone else.
Yeah,
Like it's just like I'm a bat now, and
I'm a
everyone
bat.
else is like, "What? Why is she posing like that?" Yeah,
Yeah, but she has a cool cape, so
she does have the cool cape.
she's halfway there. Two-thirds really. I mean, she's already a vampire, so um, yeah. I mean, my stars are basically going to be the same as Amanda. Thank you for stealing all of them. Um, uh, but my wish is to know what happens to Velvet Ashes. Um,
Mm.
I, the player, felt a little bit bad sending a giant bird to his death, but obviously Leland doesn't feel the same. Um, Another wish too. My favorite is Trunga, and so I want more Trunga. Love that guy. Um, and I wonder how, because I really did like that transmission scene with Hijack. Um, like I want. So is that something that all of us can do, or is it just Hijack?
Yeah, it's on a campaign hit, so like
Okay.
campaign hits are 12 pluses. So it's essentially my decision based on the narrative if I give you some for like a rules explanation for everyone.
Hmm.
Whether I give you a evidence of the galactic overlord. So we've seen that before, like the hands that came out and were
Yeah.
like clapping, and or this. So it'll be like some mix of those. But yeah, like there will be different interactions. I'm thinking about putting like a sort of like most beloved kind of like condition that you can take, but I want to like play it out first.
Yeah.
That you would have the particular target of the transmissions from the Lost Sun is what it's called.
Hmm.
But yeah, for now it is yeah just on a 12 plus if it feels appropriate for your comms to have you call in to the transmission, then that will happen.
And yeah, Devin, good to have you here. I like that little that little glimpse of characterization at the end with the swashbuckling thing. Um, so just sort of as a wish, I want to see more of his personality explored. But yeah, good stuff all around. Thank you again, Mike, for running this.
Hmm.
I'll pop in. The radio segment, Mike, was a big highlight for me. I enjoyed it was out of the blue and at a particularly inconvenient time for Carlisle, but it was perfect and weird and surreal, and it was great. Uh, Michael, I don't know why, I just really liked the cut in the spotlight action to just file that insurance claim. That was yeah, that was perfect. I cannot believe that Jack's sentence was not mentioned yet because as soon as comma, semicolon, M dash came out, I was
It was
like,
on my
that is
list.
perfect. Also, claustrophobia of the wrist. Just chef's kiss there. Uh, Getting to see Jane go full vampire and then the stinger of what that has wrought was perfect. And yeah, I too want to know if Jane can turn into bats. Uh, Devin, welcome to the party. And yeah, Trip doing the solo swashbuckling in lieu of actual swashbuckling was great. And yeah, just looking forward to our last royal. May have caused some trouble for the gang. I don't know if we'll explore that further, but a wish, I guess, would just be to see maybe Sarah has a tie to, or there's a tie there between
Ooh.
Trip and Sarah that could be fun to maybe
Hmm.
look at
Hmm.
if that scratches any itches.
Hmm.
So thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up the sentence and the punctuation because that was the one thing I was like, if nobody mentions this, I'm not going to let this session end without it getting called out.
Uh-huh.
Because I was on the edge of my seat to see how far that sentence was going to stretch. I want to give a particular star to Mike for deciding that my odd character moment of licking glass for no reason is a collection roll. That caught me flat-footed. I thought I was just messing around. I'm like, oh, what if you learned something? And it turns out, no, I didn't learn anything, but the chance was there,
Hmm.
and that was exciting. Leftover stars, I think some of my favorite things about this game are even things that don't happen. I quite enjoyed visualizing a vulture flapping around in a lightning storm with a lanyard and an ID in the hope that lightning would strike it and run down a cable. Just this weird Ben Franklin style trick that we were gonna put all of our chips on and hope that it would pay off. We may not have gone down that path, but it was fun to imagine. Wishes. I don't know. I guess we still have hey Leland, do something risky and die maybe. Not for anyone who did not watch the last episode, we do have an insurance policy out on Leland. There's a clone body stashed somewhere um, that at some point be fun to see pay off. It doesn't have to. Don't actually feel any pressure. I'm just throwing it out there as a reminder that that's humming along in the background somewhere.
Does this policy last indefinitely, or is it only for the duration of this
I think
heist?
it's this heist. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Right. Noted.
I mean, you could keep it on the same person heist after heist, but yeah,
Hmm.
Okay. Well, noted.
you're not
How many
locked into
insurance
it.
policies do you get? Like if I die this heist, will you no longer be able to make clones of others or myself afterwards?
For this heist, that
But
would be
it's
it.
but you have one per heist. Is that
One
it?
per heist.
Got
Hmm.
it, got it, got it. Okay.
It just takes some time to prepare.
Hmm. The bioprinter has so much toner to keep track of that keeps
Hmm.
running out
Hmm.
of and putting alarms up.
But it's so fast in the Fifth Element.
Well,
Yeah.
that's fiction and this is real.
Well, and he's using the third party toner as well, as opposed to
Right.
the brand name toner.
And they
So
got
it's
the
just,
sponges in there that always soak up the excess ink, and
yeah.
it's a rip off really. It's
Hmm. Hmm.
That's why we got to keep heisting. It's a vicious circle.
Funding those clones.
Real quick, stars to everyone for letting me jump in. Was quite fun to kind of learn on the fly as I was rolling. Um, most of my stars have already been said, but I'll just throw out a couple. Let me do drug. Can we do drugs at it? Makes me understand fix pretty much exactly, I think.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Um, and is a very Michael Van Vliet kind of line, so I really appreciated that. Um, comma uh, was excellent. And Mike Mertens has a great voice for radio, and yet when he does a radio voice, it gets even more radio-y. Come on. Great,
Aw,
great.
thanks.
Um, yeah, everything else has basically been said by other people. I am my wish is that I am back next week.
Yeah. I think my big star Devin, like, just like jumping in and not only like a new character in the middle of a campaign, but also in the middle of a heist. I'm sure it felt disorienting on your side, but it felt right in line and right in tune to I think all of us. So excellent job there. Like, it's nice to have a royal back in the mix. It's always a fun dynamic. I think, yeah, like it was highlighted, the sort of like odd couple relationship between Leland and Trip is really interesting. Yeah, I think that there's something about having Now there's five personas, five players is a lot to deal with, but it's working okay. But like it's fun to see how they foil off of each other, especially from like a playtesting perspective. Um, yeah, just general stars for the hijinks of this particular thing. This was kind of a transition episode where we have like again, like we're introducing a new character, we're kind of like moving the pieces around, getting the momentum moving forward on the heist itself. So there's a lot of those kind of like transitionary scenes where people are walking together and bumping into each other and like that kind of like comedy of errors kind of structure. And like you guys all played that. There was a lot of role playing in this one and asks for role playing. And I think you all like moved that in interesting ways, made it interesting both in the conversation and the blocking of the conversation of just like it could have been like okay we're all going into this place now and instead like there was a lot of like veering off and like twisting around so it felt very interesting as far as like where people were moving all of that kind of thing. um just climbing over the wall is a pretty direct solution to the wall problem. But it worked and it was fun. And yeah, I really liked the idea of Jane Doe 2.0 as this sort of like pseudo grappling hook, using the magnetized wall. That whole magnetized wall thing just kind of developed organically, and it's fun when that ends up being like the key to the solution of everything. That's why the sort of like emergent narrative systems are fun, is to see how things tie together from those random spaces. And yeah, like I'm still like figuring out exactly how to do the transmissions from the Lost Sun, but I was glad that it worked out. Star to Ben for using it in the scene as well. I thought was really nice as opposed to just being like removed and having this conversation in your head. Like actually like immediately, and it makes sense for the curator, right? Like that the curator is like, I've got comms. Comms can be used for this. I just need feedback in order to use like to deal with the situation. Like it's a very like a curatory thing to do of just whatever strange is happening to figure out how to utilize it in the immediate scene. Um, yeah. And then I'm always whenever Michael does like a strange voice out of nowhere, I it always like does not process with me immediately. So when you're doing the weird tongue thing, I was like, that's not Fix's voice. Why is he doing this voice? What is going on? And then I remembered the tongue thing and I was like, oh, okay. Perfect. So I always like that personification of your conditions and characters, so on and so forth. Yeah, I think wishes. We got a lot of they're not official nemesis, they're lowercase nemesis within this particular heist going. So we've got Velvet Ashes is being escorted off to his death and probably has some resentment towards Leland. Seems fairly chill about it, but also like Leland, you probably could have given a little more effort in that situation. Um, we've got Leland and Stugg. Like Leland is on a mission from Stugg. Presumably isn't going to act on it, but maybe. But how is that going to develop? Interesting. We've got Cranston Brandt unconscious and has been given over to Dr. Quantum to have his organs. We have Dr. Quantum herself, who is maybe still interested in the organs and has extra pinkies now. Yeah, pretty much everyone. Then Boran and Trunga Torch, like that relationship is I mean, Boran was always never going to be a constructive relationship, but now she is a vampire. And Trunga Tort was expecting you to come back with some reconnaissance on how to break through the wall, and instead you just climbed over the wall and took the cable with you. So he's not going to be thrilled with that. The list goes on and on. So there's going to be a lot of tension as we are trying to make our way back through Craterion City after we get the Helio Shroud, presumably past all of these, um, yeah, antagonists that you have developed. I don't know if you have a friend in Craterion City, which is going to be really interesting when Craterion City becomes your base of operations. Um, But yeah, that's my wish. See how all of that complexity plays out. Um, yeah. Anybody else have anything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much time has passed since I got a tracker implanted in me?
Oh, that's a very good question. Um,
'Cause I feel like
what
that's
does
going to
it
be a
feel like
thing.
to people, like as far as like how that time has passed? Because you also you had the skirmish at the wall, then you
Yeah.
went to Dr. Quantum's lab, and then you planned your thing and then went back to the wall. So I feel like it's probably a solid hour and a half.
Okay. We have to work quick.
Yeah.
All right. I might have to talk to Fix next session.
Hmm.
See if we can rig something up.
You do have access to some premium surgeons, which the syndicate did not have
Oh,
immediate
you're
access.
right, Ben, or not. There, I do have a backup, so
Oh yeah.
I know I have that. I know I have
You
that on deck.
hmm,
Decide it's more in
fun.
character to just forget that it's in there.
Yeah.
He's just like
Oh man,
idly scratching at his
I kind of
armpit.
like that. All of a sudden, we just have Leland like keel over,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
another Leland walk up.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that'll be fun. I can't wait. All right, all. Thank you. Wave bye to the viewers at home, and the people listening on the podcast can just know that we were waving. All
We're
right.
waving, everyone.
Wave louder.
Bye, everybody.